The Daily Mail published an opinion piece by Alison Boshoff, but instead of it being opinion, it says exclusive, as if this is somehow brand new information. So the headline says, Harry never wanted to be estranged, but he was madly in love. Now the veil is lifting. Inside plans to reverse I ain't saying that. As friends tell Alison about communication between Harry and William and why the Sussexes' American dream is over. They've been saying the American dream is over for the past 4 years. When's it gonna happen? She starts off this opinion piece by pointing out the drama before the low-key family meeting was quite the media whirlwind. And the drama was the media themselves inciting drama by publishing multiple articles, putting in leaks from courtiers, and then adding what Harry's actual spokesperson had said and just mismashing shit. Even the BBC was reporting unconfirmed claims as if they were absolutely 100% confirmed. That's how bad it had gotten. The BBC was doing that. And because Harry and Meghan and their children have met the king, nothing's really been happening because Harry finished out what he was doing with the IG 1 year out event. He gave a couple of interviews on podcasts, promoting the event, and as ever has posted a few things with Meghan. But other than that, yeah, it has been silent because nothing's really happening. There's no more events for him to go to and life goes on as usual. But they're turning it into something nefarious because Alison goes on to claim that the conditions for the meetup with the king was there were to be no cameras in the room, no briefings, and no Instagram posts about jam or anything else. That is a very strange thing to say because Harry has not done any of those things prior. So why would there need to be brand new conditions set for things that have never happened before? And they think they're gonna happen now? What? She gives him credit because a humbled Harry agreed and everything's been good. He's been true to his word. Yeah, so he's literally doing the same thing he's always done when he's met with his father. Strange. They then quote a friend of Harry's, which, to remind you, these tabloid writers think they are friends with these people. They think that the royals literally are friends with them, kikiing it up, BFFs forever, and not as a strategy to befriend them and make sure they don't write anything negative about them, which is why it doesn't work with Harry because he's not friends with these people and he has made it very clear for the past 25 years he wants nothing to do with them. So you can see why a friend of Harry's is probably just one of them making it up because they think once they've interacted with him, they are, best friends forever. And as for Harry was never going to let the kids down, they were so invested in the trip. Yeah. They're 4 and 7? I'm sorry. I don't remember kids' ages. They were on vacation already, right? They were in Europe. It was confirmed in multiple tabloids outside of the UK's propaganda. So the kids probably didn't know they were going to be going to the UK to meet Charles until it was 100% for sure. It's not something they would have told their children and hopped up about it, but I digress. This friend Alison claims to have spoken to claims that these kids FaceTime Charles all the time and they have a relationship with him. So the formality of just getting together was the last thing needed. I don't believe this for a fucking second. Even the hate subreddit about Meghan, they don't even believe this. They do believe that a friend of Harry said it, but nobody believes that Charles has a pre-existing relationship with these children. You can't convince either side of it. Please go to part.
I saw a video of Prince Harry surfing on Meghan's Instagram. You cannot make me hate that woman. You cannot make me hate that woman and think that she stole Harry away from the royal family. He's just out here miserable and hating it and missing his family and resentful of her. No, that man is surfing. That man is out there surfing big waves in the Pacific fucking Ocean. He not going back. He never wanted to be there. He not going back. His mama is up there happy as fuck that he met Meghan and she got him away from them people. Like, at season 2 of With Love, Meghan was delightful. I might be making one of them onion tartinis, whatever she was calling them, like tomorrow. And I still want my, gay ass flour sprinkles to stay friends. Call them. Like, that show was so funny. It's so fucking delightful. All she be doing is cooking and like chatting with her friends and like making flower arrangements and making soap with Jay Shetty and all kinds of shit. Then y'all talk about, the show's not relatable. Like, what's relatable? What is real? Her father-in-law is the king of England. She's a fucking duchess. She married a prince. I don't know what you want from her. Okay, somebody's not relatable. There's 50 bitches on here right now that you can go to their page and they teach you how to make some fucking soap. They just not making it with Jay Shetty. They making resin jewelry. They're just not making it with Chrissy Teigen. They making paella, just not with Jose Andres. That show ain't nothing but Martha Stewart and Ina Garten for millennials. Okay, if you can't tell me that that's not relatable and you hate it, but you love Ina Garten looking you dead in the face, telling you, well, if you don't make your own Madagascar vanilla bean syrup butter compote, store-bought is fine. Like, come the fuck. Love me some Meghan Markle. Delightful biracial princess.
Hello, squaddies. Here we go again with the fiction department. Every few months, like clockwork, the tabloids pull out this exact same imaginary plotline. Harry regrets everything. The American dream is dead. He was just blindly in love, but now the veil is lifting. Are you kidding me? Who actually buys this garbage? Translation: please come back, we are running completely out of ideas for front-page drama without you. The fan fiction coming out of the press is reaching comedic levels. They've been screaming that the American dream is over since the literal second the ink dried on the Montecito house papers. It's pure, unadulterated wishful thinking. They cannot handle the fact that Harry packed his bags, picked his wife and kids, and built a completely thriving life on his own terms away from their toxic ecosystem. And let's talk about the timing, because the puppet strings are showing. Whenever there's heat on Kensington Palace, or whenever folks start looking too closely at William's angry outbursts or zero work ethic, right on cue, plant a story framing Harry as a miserable puppy who wants to crawl back home. It's the classic William PR play. They drop these insider sources to frame Harry as weak and foolish, while trying to make William look like the forgiving, powerful big brother running the show. Think about the absurdity of the headline. He was madly in love. Now the veil is lifting. Out here in the real world, if your brother kept feeding bad stories about your wife to the media, you wouldn't be crying to get back into his living room. You'd block his number and live your best life. Harry exchanged grey suits, freezing rain, and relentless British tabloid harassment for sunshine, palm trees, and total freedom. The UK press misses the clicks, and William's office misses having a lightning rod to absorb all their bad press. They can write all the fake Megxit reversal stories they want, but the reality is clear. California is doing just fine, Harry and Meghan aren't looking back, and the desperate smear campaign is just making the royal media machine look completely unhinged. Crazy how every time Harry makes a decision, somebody rushes out with the same old script. Meghan made him do it. Seriously? Are we still pretending a grown man in his 40s can't think for himself? Harry served in the military, he founded Invictus, he's travelled the world, but somehow we're supposed to believe he suddenly forgot how to make decisions because he fell in love? Come on now, that doesn't even make sense. Here's what really gets me laughing. Harry has told us exactly why he left. He said it in interviews, he wrote it in Spare. He wanted to protect his wife, protect his children, and build a different life. You don't have to agree with him, but at least listen to what the Nan is actually saying instead of inventing another fairy tale. The truth is, some parts of the press just can't accept that Harry chose Meghan and chose a life outside the royal system. If they admitted that was his decision, the whole poor Harry was tricked storyline would fall apart overnight. And let's be honest, squaddies, Harry looks happier, Meghan looks happier, and they're raising their family on their own terms. That doesn't look like a man who was dragged into a decision. That looks like a man who made one, and he's standing by it. Now, squaddies, can somebody please make this make sense? 1 minute, the headlines are screaming, Harry and Meghan are finished. The next minute, there's another front page story about Harry and Meghan. Hold on, if their so-called American dream is over, why can't these newspapers go 24 hours without mentioning them? Seriously. It's like that one person who keeps saying, I'm done with my ex, while checking their Instagram every 10 minutes. If you're really over it, why are you still watching? That's exactly what's happening here. Every time Harry gives a speech, headline. Every time Meghan launches something, headline. Every time they step outside, breaking news. But we're also supposed to believe nobody cares anymore. Come on now, the math isn't mathing. And don't you love the mysterious characters that suddenly appear? A friend says, an insider claims, a source reveals. These anonymous people must be working overtime because they're always ready with another dramatic story. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are just out there living their lives. Here's what I think is really going on. Harry and Meghan are still one of the biggest stories in the royal world because people are interested. Love them or hate them, people click, people watch, and people talk. That's why the stories never stop. If they were truly irrelevant, newspapers would have moved on years ago. They don't keep filling pages with people who don't bring readers. So every time I hear the Sussexes are over, I just laugh. Really? Then why are they still leading the conversation? Why are they still getting the biggest headlines? Why is every move they make treated like a global event? The answer is simple, squaddies. Harry and Meghan didn't disappear. They built a new life, they're raising their family, and they're still capturing attention around the world. The real contradiction isn't Harry and Meghan. It's the newspapers insisting they're irrelevant while making sure they're the first story you see every single morning.
Now, squaddies, can we have an honest conversation about the biggest celebrity in royal reporting? No, not Harry, not Meghan. The real superstar is anonymous sources. Every single week, it's the same cast of characters. A friend says, an insider claims, someone close to the family reveals. Who are these people, honestly? At this point, these mysterious insiders deserve their own Netflix series because they're apparently everywhere, they know everything, they never sleep, and somehow they're always available 5 minutes before a newspaper deadline. Come on now. Here's what makes me laugh. When Harry wanted the world to hear his side, he didn't hide behind a friend. He put his own face on camera. He sat down for interviews. He wrote spare. He signed his name to it. Whether people agreed with him or not, at least everyone knew exactly who was speaking. That's called owning your words. Meanwhile, some of these royal stories expect us to trust somebody whose identity is basically, trust me, bro. Really? Imagine going to court and saying, Your Honor, my friend's cousin's neighbour told me. You get laughed out of the room. But somehow when it's a royal headline, we're supposed to nod and say, well, an insider said it, so it must be true. No, squaddies, that's not how common sense works. And have you noticed something else? These mystery sources always seem to show up when Harry and Meghan are doing well. New project? Here come the insiders. Big appearance? Here come the sources. Positive headlines? Suddenly somebody close to the situation has a dramatic new story. What incredible timing. It's almost like these anonymous voices are permanent employees of the royal rumour factory. The funny thing is, Harry and Meghan don't have to guess what they believe because they've already told us in their own words. So the next time you read sources claim or friends reveal, don't just swallow it whole. Ask the simplest question in the world. Who said it? Because if the strongest person in the story doesn't even have a name, maybe the headline isn't as rock solid as it's trying to sound.
Now, squaddies, here's what I think the newspapers keep getting wrong. They act like Harry has only 2 choices. Go back or lose. Seriously? Life doesn't work like that. Harry has never said he wanted to spend the rest of his life fighting with his family. Who wants that? Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, you know what, I'd love another family feud today. Wanting peace is normal. Wanting boundaries is also normal. Those 2 things can exist at the same time, and that's where the press keeps missing the point. They hear the word communication, and suddenly it's, Megxit is over, Harry is coming back, the Sussexes have failed. Slow down. Talking to your family doesn't mean you're packing your bags and moving back into the same situation you left. Ask any regular person. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you move back into their house. You can love your family and still decide your own peace comes first. Millions of people do exactly that every single day. Look at Harry's life now. He's still showing up for veterans through Invictus. He's still talking about mental health. He's still working through Archwell. Most importantly, he's being a husband and a dad. That's not somebody wandering around looking for the exit sign. That's somebody building a life. And let's not forget Meghan. Through all the noise, they've stayed together. They've raised their children. They've backed each other in public. For a couple that newspapers keep insisting is falling apart, they seem pretty determined to keep proving those headlines wrong. Here's what makes me laugh. Some parts of the press almost sound disappointed every time Harry doesn't run back to the palace. It's like they're waiting for the movie ending where he says, "You were right all along." Years later, they're still waiting. Because Harry never said he wanted his old life back. He said he wanted a healthier one. There's a massive difference. So if one day Harry and his family rebuild their relationship, good for them. Families should heal if they can. But don't confuse healing with giving up everything he stood for. Those are two completely different things. The real story isn't whether Harry goes back. The real story is that he left, built a new life with Meghan, keeps supporting the causes that matter to him, and hasn't abandoned the path he chose. Maybe that's the path some people just can't accept, because it's a lot easier to sell the fantasy that Harry is desperate to return than to admit he might actually be happy exactly where he is. Thank you all for watching, Squaddies. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the latest royal updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments, I read them all, and I can't wait to hear what you think. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can send a super thanks. It really helps and is always appreciated. Until next time, stay informed, stay amazing, and keep questioning the headlines. I'm your host, Miles, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.